Okay, we are starting here in the Rested Moms Club, and here we are in week one of these routine. We're going to be here in this foundation week, and what we're going to discuss in this foundation week with the foundations of sleep is ready, set, routine. Now, before discussing why a routine is so beneficial for you, for your child, let's first talk about what a routine even is to begin with. The beauty of a routine is so that you can predict your child's needs as they come. And you can start doing this already with a newborn, but for sure with a child your age already. And I say the word routine because many people flee when I say the word schedule. You know, they term it as this structured, black and white, enslaved to the clock minute by minute. People get nervous that they think it has to be this rigid, confining play, but really that's not what a routine is. It's quite the opposite. It's really just a sequence of events, a general flow to your day. My baby usually eats at this time, is normally happy within these hours, tends to get tired around that hour. Your child's not a robot, but your daily routine will typically range within a half hour of normalcy on a daily basis. And all people function like this. As adults, we thrive on predictability. Most of us eat lunch around the same time every day, go to bed around the same time within a certain hour, and babies are the same. They are miniature people, and we are all creatures of habit. We all thrive on some level of predictability and general order to our days. So that's just the framework of what a routine is and what it means. Now let's talk about why a routine helps your child so much. First of all, it lessens your child's irritability drastically. Your child doesn't have to cry because he's exhausted for bedtime, overtired, ridiculously hungry, because you're able to fill his needs as they come, and you generally know what those needs are. You don't have to play guessing games when your child's upset. What's going on with him? Does he need to go back to sleep? Did he wake up prematurely? Because you have an outline of his days and you're able to simply flow with that instead of allowing exhaustion or irritability to set in. You prevent this from even happening to begin with. Now, most children cry during the day when they are babies, infants and toddlers, aside from pain or being upset and frustrated in communication, because they're tired and they don't have this predictability set in place. So why would you even let it get to that point? When your child is upset around a sleep time, they're basically telling you, Mommy, I'm so unbelievably tired. Please help me because I don't know how to fall asleep. And most of these issues stem from not having a properly regulated daytime routine in which your child can fall into certain natural rhythms and patterns. So keep in mind when I say routine, it's all encompassing. It's eating, it's sleeping, it's wake time, it's nap time, it's bedtime, it's mealtime, it's everything, okay? Now, within this course and in your workbook, there are various sample routines that I've included, so definitely refer to those as a guide. Your child might not follow the routine exactly, but it will at least give you a starting point to work with or what you can refer to kind of compare what you're already working on. But let me just give you a general overview for these different routines, okay? Now, in general, it just starts with awake time. Awake time basically means ensuring your child doesn't get overtired between naps, ensuring your child isn't kept awake too long, ensuring that sleep spells happen at the times they need, because believe it or not, awake time is the base foundation to helping your child get onto a solid routine, not to mention sleeping through the night and being rested and happy. So all the routines found in this course, try not to only match the times and durations of the naps and the sleep times, but also try to match the awake time, okay? Because we want to make sure that we don't exceed anything too long that your child gets overtired. Now, let's say you see that nap number 1 is set to be an hour in length. So you try to keep your baby asleep instead of just allowing him to wake up after a 20-minute spell. Let's say he wakes up after 20 minutes. I'm going to elaborate this point later on in the course, but just I want the idea to sink in now. Don't magically allow your baby to wake up when you see a nap could potentially be longer just because you think a nap is done. You want to help your child learn to extend his naps. And we're going to talk about this in more detail, but it's just really important that you understand just because your child is doing one thing does not mean that's necessarily the best routine. What we want to do is actively take the reins and help your child reconfigure his daytime sleep. Now, no matter how old your child is, during the day, we want to make sure that we get your child's body acclimated to good sleeping rhythms. We're going to learn about this more when we dig deeper, but you want to make sure you do whatever possible to make sure your child doesn't get overtired, because when your child is overtired and they miss this ideal opportune time when they're ready to go to sleep, when their body's ready, they get overtired, they get wired, they fight sleep. And I want you to know it's an absolute myth that you should Never wake a sleeping child. You know, don't be afraid to wake your child if you feel like they're sleeping too long, but also don't be afraid to put them to sleep when you feel like it's the time that's right. Because sometimes, like I said, you have to help your child's body get into this predictable routine, because otherwise your child's going to continue taking the lead and may never fall into these better patterns independently. And that's just going to result in an overtired, unhappy child, not to mention an overtired parent. Okay. So a routine is not enslaving. Quite the contrary, it is liberating. All right, let's do an activity. In your workbook, I want you to write down what's your daily routine. I wrote it's mommy log time. That means log your typical day. What time do you run errands? What time do you do carpool? What time are you out and about? Because you want to balance creating a routine for your child, but also make it work for your life. Because it's amazing if we create this perfect sleep routine, but it happens to be up in the heavens and you can't practically apply it to your life because all naps happen to coincide exactly when you're running errands. So it's a balance. So I don't only want you to take note of your child's routine, I want you to take note of what your day life looks like. And also, what part of the day do you feel most confident with? Do you feel like bedtime is really solid? Do you feel like naps or one of the naps works well, or even morning? Because you want to use that as a baseline to make sure that whatever we do only thwarts to positivity. Okay, so let's just outline what a routine is and what we spoke about here. A routine helps you keep your baby happy, keep your child happy by empowering you to know what your child needs. You know, in a neighborhood that I lived years ago, there was a park where many mothers used to come with their babies and kids. I used to have my set bench I like to sit on while I'd socialize with my friends, watch my kids, and to no fail, I would often see the same scenario repeat itself with different mothers who came to the park. All right, it looked something like this. Mom comes to the park pushing her baby in the stroller, and oh no, little baby starts crying. Mom picks up the baby, begins rocking him because he must be tired. But after 5 minutes, 6 minutes, doing this, she sees, oh, he's not so tired. He must have a dirty diaper. So she changes his diaper, tries to make him more comfortable, wraps him back up, but oh my gosh, he's still crying. Maybe he didn't eat well before we left the house, so I'll get a bottle ready for him. He's probably hungry. Tries to give him the bottle, but he's not interested. He's spitting it out. He's not hungry. Okay, Mom thinks, maybe he's overstimulated. Let's give him a new sleep environment. I'll move to another end of the park. But pushes the stroller around. Nothing is working. What's going on here? Okay, this mom does not have a routine and is playing guessing games all day trying to figure out what her baby needs. Now, your baby is older and not a little 2-month-old baby that you're trying to figure it out, but still this idea holds true. So by having a predictable routine set in place, you already know how to help your child, and your child doesn't reach that escalated crying to be fed, or to have a nap, or to go down for bedtime, because you follow his cues beforehand and you're able to confidently meet his needs as they come.